I don't remember exactly, but when I decided I want to take GMAT for applying to B schools, I started Googling and I came across like an ad, I guess, from CareerLabs saying that I can attend a 1 2 hour session, 1 hour session from, I think Vishnu took that session. I'm not sure. So, you know, so in that video, like I was able to see the process, what CareerLabs is doing right from the beginning to the end. Um, so I think overall I was impressed with that presentation, and I thought maybe with the help of CareerLabs, I could apply for B schools. So after that session, um, then immediately I paid whatever the amount in 24 hours and joined CareerLabs. Yeah, that's the start of the CareerLabs session. So initially it was overwhelming, but I came to the uh, mindset that it is. So at least I came to know that before, so I can get the help of CareerLabs. Then after going through the process, I mean explaining the whole process, I felt I wouldn't have gone through that process. Maybe I would have overwhelmed doing it by myself, but with the help of CareerLabs, it made sense that we need to go one step at a time. So when I made the CV by myself, well, I thought it's good, but after those editing sessions, I found it much beneficial. It made my CV better, even better. Um, so I didn't realize I can sum up everything in one page effectively, which the editor has done it really well. Yeah, it's really good. So the initial for 1 or 2 months, I didn't go through the videos. I just quickly glanced what the contents, but then I didn't go through any of those. But later, when I started, working, and after 2 or 3 calls with Kritika, um, then I realized, finding a B school and how to, gather the information, how to know better what's going on with the B school, how to choose the B schools. So everything I was asking Kritika, then she told me it's better if I go through those recorded videos to get a insight of what's going on. Then I, went one video. Uh, then I found, yes, that's actually very informational. Then I started, going through all the videos, and it gave a clear information on, you know, as an applicant, what I need to do. Yeah, first thing I asked Kritika which B schools we need to go, but then as you told before, it's also the applicant, needs to take part in that, and we need to put the 60-70% effort and the 30% from Career Labs. So it's actually a good thing because we are the ones, we are going to study. So if we know the content better, the B school better, it's beneficial for us. So I think after 3 or 4 calls with Kritika, I went through all those videos. That's what happened. In a way, one thing I would say, it was very positive. Um, so for me, my one of the most concern is the age, because I'm 34 years old. So I was worried about my age in getting into the B school for a full-time MBA. And since it's a short duration, because I started the career lab process by the end of October, I think, and the application deadlines were in January, and I haven't taken the GMAT then. So since it's like couple of months, I couldn't do much with my profile. And Kritika agreed, yes, there is not much time, because most applicants have at least 1 year or 6 months time to, update their profile or do the profile gap analysis. In my case, I already had 2 courses enrolled by myself even before I thought of doing the MBA. So additional courses was not required. And so basically, what Kritika told is, since it's a short duration, and I couldn't even do some volunteering work or attend workshops in the uh, 2 or 3 months time. So it's better to stick with what I have. And since I already enrolled in 2 courses, so that's a lot better profile for me. And I need to leverage my work experience and my international experience. That should, fill my profile perfectly. So that's what I got the output from Kritika. Right now, I'm working with my dad. It's a family-run manufacturing industry. So my dad takes care of the industry, and I just stepped into his shoes. Um, so after I thought of doing MBA, I told my dad I couldn't concentrate much on the work, so I need some time for GMAT preparation and other things. So I could manage to get some time, um, though I do some, you know, maybe I work like couple hours some day, or some days I work half a day. So I could able to manage time, uh, unlike not an employee working 8 hours. So that's one advantage for me. Um, but since the duration was so short, GMAT preparation took a long time. But simultaneously, the CV was done. The essays, I started finding out what B schools I want. That took time, because researching the B schools, going through the websites, it took a lot of time. So finally, I rounded off with few schools. Then I started the application process. So juggling with the time, it was challenging. Some For the past 2 3 months, I think I slept around 5 to 6 hours a day. Mostly, it's I burnt the midnight oil. So it was challenging. Yeah, I would say 3 months time. It's not sufficient for GMAT preparation as well as the application. I enrolled in the GMAT as well as the 3B schools thing. So using the tab, I studied for 1.5 2 months. Um, but my GMAT preparation was not at it's not great because I couldn't spend much time. It's all spending just 1 month to get to know what GMAT is, and then taking the test. It was challenging. As I said, it took a lot of time, but still I managed somehow. I wrote the first time, and then I spoke to Kritika. She said, please retake the GMAT, don't give up. So I took it again. But the other thing she mentioned is, instead of giving up, I need to definitely look for other options. So what I did is, along with GMAT, I also approached IE Business School and SRA and asked them for the IGAT and the TAE. They conduct their own exam. So I took those as well. I think that helped because 2 days ago I got an email from IE that they are moving forward with the interview process. So I think IGAT helped, and I think that's because I got some positive feedback from Kritika that it's definitely like a booster for me since my GMAT score is not that great. She said there are other avenues. I need to look for other options, and that worked. So I should thank Kritika for that. So before taking the GMAT, I was at least confident that okay, I should have one or two dream schools. Then the rest others at least in the top 20 in the ranking list. But then after I took the GMAT, my hopes gone down. So I spoke to Kritika. So this is what happened, and she said, "Never mind. It's not about the GMAT score alone. So it's the overall profile. So instead of giving up the hope, now is the time I should put a lot of effort on how to make my essays and other things look great." And as I said, she gave other options, probably taking a GRE or IGAT or other exams. So I think that's a good advice I got. On choosing the school, the first school I chose was SDA Botany. But unfortunate thing is, I contacted the school, and the school told me if I want to look for a job in Italy or Europe, it's not. It will be very difficult unless I plan to move back to India. There is the school said there is no point in applying to the school. After drafting all those essays and revising those essays, after 2 3 weeks, I got this reply from the school. So the overall drafting for the first school, I won't say it went waste, um, but all those essays I couldn't apply to the school. So I told Vishnu, okay, we started with this, but then I can't apply to the school because the school said there is no point in applying. Um, but then I could use those some parts of the essay in other B schools as well. Since I opted for three B schools, Vishnu said, okay, it's not possible to change the school now, but we can still use those contents for the other schools. And then the next school, the other one is the Cambridge Judge, which is like a dream school. And the third one was, I realized, okay, let's go with Warwick in UK. So these are the three schools. And I mean, there is no regret that I didn't apply for SDA Bokni. At least I came to know before that there is no point in applying. So this is the process of how I selected. The IE and SRA, it was on my list. Since they have their own exams, I took advantage of that after I wrote the GMAT. So overall, I chose the school. I mean, as I said, the post GMAT and pre GMAT were really different. It gave a different perspective of how to take the exam and which schools I need to approach. CareerLabs gave me that Excel sheet, right? The qualitative and quantitative analysis sheet. I used that to see or to analyze how the B schools rank for myself. Um, so I used that, and then I found, okay. So mostly I went with to say the location. My main concern was 1 year MBA, so that narrowed down the schools for me a lot. So most of the European schools had 1 year MBA, so that way I can, figure out the schools in Europe, especially. Then those recordings from Kritika, she compared those schools and she showed the how to, choose between the schools. So based on those tips and ideas, okay, I chose some based on location because since I don't know any of the European language except English, so I took two schools in UK. As I said, the dream school like Judge, and then I compared with Warwick and Imperial. Uh, Warwick expect 660 average GMAT, and Imperial they expect 690. So I thought, okay, Warwick is more lenient with the scores, so I chose Warwick based on that. And based on the ranking and other things, SRA and IE in Spain, so they have good ranking, so I chose those two. SDA Bokni, I thought, okay, it's a good school based on their website, what I went through. But then the school itself told me, okay, there is no point in applying if I want to find a job in Europe, so that's ruled out. I had other dream schools like HEC or NCR. That was like far stretch, but then once I realized, okay, they expect exceptionally good GMAT score, I said, okay, why not? I don't want to stress up on that. I can apply for whatever schools in my bucket list. And then I had Gazeta in the US, which I applied myself because I attended Gazeta's like a weekly session, so they waived off the application fee. So that helped me. I think I just applied without paying any application fee. So that's there. Um, and other than that, there is no business schools in the US which give 1 year MBA, except there are there is one. I mean, the North Carolina, the Duke, and then Kellogg, but they expect like extremely more than 700 GMAT score. So US is no way there. So out of Europe, as I said, I chose based on I looked their websites and rankings, and I spoke to students, the alumni, so I got to know what's going on. CareerLabs gave a template. I sent those templates out to my recommenders and asked them, okay, once I chose the application, the B schools I'm going with, please help me with the recommendation letters. And my recommenders, they agreed to it. So I didn't have much say on that. I told them and they did. Other than that, what is the other one? The other question?
I wanted to know about the essay drafting process. Like,
So first, whenever I send an essay, I get a reply that okay, this is not good. This is not good. So I was at one point I was like, okay, what I need to write, what I am going to think. So it took me like at least for SDA botany. Once I finished it, it was like a month of time once I get finalized. But then I realized, okay, so writing a essay is not that easy. It needs a lot of work. Probably when I done on my own, I wouldn't have put much thoughts on this. I think Shikar, right? So he did a good job in analyzing my essays and put together really well. So I used the Cambridge Judge essay and SDA Botany a little bit because SDA, my goal was to openly tell the school that okay, I want to work in Europe after my graduation. But then I told Kritika, okay, this might not work. I may change my essay saying that I want to come back to India uh, to take over the business, and because I don't think I felt that schools might agree that when I say I want to come back to India after graduation, they will be relieved in a way that they don't want to worry about my career after graduation. So I thought, going that route helped me in, getting the admission. So I started drafting Judge B School, uh, writing the essay saying that I want to come back to India. And I used the same approach for other B schools as well. Um, yeah, Judge, since I got a good edit, my essays edited really well with CareerLabs. I used some parts of those to IE and SRA as well. And now I'm working on Warwick essays, and it's going pretty good. The one thing I would advise is start at least 6 to 8 months before. Uh, to be really good, just give 1 year time from the time you start your MBA and MBA process to get to the admit, because 2 3 months time it really took a toll on me. The other thing I would advise is getting help is really necessary at this point, because we can do anything on our own, but having this uh, the advice from CareerLabs, one thing I would say is whenever I feel like okay, I want to give up, um, Kritika or Vishnu, they were like very positive in their approach. If anything at all, it's like I'm getting some positive vibes out of CareerLabs. So that's one thing. The essays, I write the essays, I sit down, and then the next day I get a reply that okay, this essay is okay, but can you make it better? So I would like, okay, what do I think now? So after 2 or 3 drafts, still Career Labs asked me to get make it much better. So they keep me pushing, you know, to make it even more better. I think um, at one point I feel like why am you know why they are not convinced. But then after some point I realized these essays are the only point of contact the schools get to know me. So it's it's really great that Career Labs is pushing my limits to make the essays really good. I realized it after a point of time because juggling with work and writing those essays, it took a lot of time apart from GMAT preparation. But I realized since, as I said, GMAT it's average score, so essays are the only ones my hope. So I think Career Labs did a good job in keep editing and pushing my limits and making the essays really good. Though it's overwhelming, that's the truth. It needs to be done. Sure, definitely, yes. If anyone is serious about getting into MBA or a good B school, I would definitely recommend getting the help of Career Labs because people are really responsive. Be it Vishnu or the editor or Kritika, they're really responsive and they motivate and they give some tips and suggestions on what to do next. So it feels good to know I'm not the only one in this journey. There are, others I'm accountable for, and they keep pushing my limits. So it's really good to have such kind of support system. So I definitely recommend if people are really ambitious and interested, it's good to have such help. I can rate 9 because 10 will be like on the top, but since I don't have much time on preparing the essays and GMAT and all those things, I just had 2-3 months time. Whatever Career Labs did was great. Um, so I don't know. It's partly. I mean, most of the junk of the major part of what needs to be done is on me. Um, so since I don't have enough time for that, I think with the short duration, Career Labs did a great thing. The GMAT preparation, yeah, it took a lot of time. I wish it could have been little better. With I don't know if it's a two different separate thing with the admissions or the GMAT thing. Is it two different things or is it the same?
Uh,
If it's two different things, I would say Career Labs. I'm much impressed with Career Labs, the B school admission thing, and how Kritika helped. I would say it's top notch, 9 or 10. I'm I would say the admissions team, the academics team, they could have done a little better. Apart from that, I have no regrets. If I want to get like an immediate call, I I try to reach out through phone call, but then zero response. Nobody will answer. But for emails, I get within 24 hours I get a reply from Vishnu, whatever it may be. So email response is great. Uh, but when I call someone with Career Labs team, no response for that.